A wild animal is supposed to run from you. That is the rule. A deer bolts. A fox vanishes. A bird explodes out of the grass before you even know it was there. To most wild animals, a human is not a friend. A human is noise, smell, danger, history. So when a wild animal does the opposite, when it swims closer, stays still, turns its injured body toward a person, it feels impossible. Almost like it is asking for help. But is it? One night off the coast of Kona, Hawaii, divers were watching manta rays when a bottlenose dolphin appeared under the lights. It did not simply pass by. It came close, moved slowly, and stayed near the humans. Then the diver saw the problem. Fishing line was wrapped around the dolphin's pectoral fin. A hook was caught in its body. The animal could still swim, but not normally. It was trapped inside a problem it could not solve with speed, teeth, or intelligence. Then something strange happened. The dolphin turned its body in a way that exposed the injury, and waited. The diver began cutting the line. The dolphin did not flee. It remained close enough for a human hand and knife to work near its body, one of the most vulnerable choices a wild animal can make. To call that asking may be too human, but to call it random is hard too, because the dolphin did not approach a rock. It did not approach a fish. It approached the one animal in the water with hands. And dolphins are not the only ones. At Ningaloo Reef in Western Australia, a manta ray known to local divers appeared with fish hooks embedded near her eye. She was a large, wild animal, powerful enough to disappear into open water at any moment. But she came toward a diver who had seen her many times before. She slowed down. She positioned herself. She allowed him to reach toward one of the most sensitive parts of her body. The hooks were removed one by one. A manta ray does not understand human medicine. It does not know what a rescue is in the way we do. But it can learn patterns. It can recognize individuals. It can connect a familiar presence with low danger. And when pain becomes worse than fear, that calculation can change. That is the key. Wild animals do not ask for help because they believe humans are good. They do it because every survival rule has a breaking point. Fear says, stay away. Pain says, solve this now. A healthy animal runs because distance keeps it alive. An injured or trapped animal may do something more dangerous because the normal strategy has already failed. If a net is cutting into the body, if a hook is near the eye, if fishing line is tightening around a fin, escape is not escape anymore. The animal is free in space, but trapped in its own body. That is when humans become something different. Not safe. Useful. Whales show the same impossible edge. In the Sea of Cortez, rescuers found a young humpback whale tangled in a fishing net so severely that it could barely move. At first, the whale looked almost lifeless at the surface. Then it breathed. The humans began cutting. A whale that size could kill a person by accident. One movement of the tail could end the rescue. But the animal was exhausted, held by the net, and out of options. As the ropes came loose, the whale slowly regained movement. Then, after being freed, it breached again and again. People called it gratitude. Science has to be more careful. Maybe it was relief. Maybe stimulation. Maybe the body reacting after restraint disappeared. We cannot climb inside the whale's mind and prove it was saying thank you. But we can say this. The animal allowed humans into a moment where wild animals normally do not allow anything close. That is what all these cases have in common. Not trust in the human sense. Tolerance under pressure. A dolphin holds still because the line is worse than the hand. A manta ray returns to a familiar diver because the hook is worse than the risk. A whale remains at the surface because the net has made escape impossible. It looks like magic because we imagine the animal making a human decision, but the real story may be sharper. These animals are not choosing kindness. They are choosing the least impossible option. And that does not make it less remarkable. It may make it more remarkable. Because fear of humans is one of the strongest lessons in the wild. Most animals carry it in their bodies before they ever meet us. Yet sometimes pain, memory, intelligence, and desperation push an animal across that boundary. For a few seconds, the old rule breaks. The wild animal does not run. It comes closer. Not because it knows what help means, but because something in the situation has become so wrong that even a human starts to look like a way out. Subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.